When people with different habitual tendencies interact, relationships of affinity or resentment are formed. A single habit, such as an obsession with efficiency, can cause harm to oneself and to others. Yet at the same time, it can also bring joy to oneself and others. When I interact with someone who also values efficiency, we get along well. I like him, he likes me, and I also like the version of myself that values efficiency. However, if I fail to meet my own standards of efficiency, I begin to dislike myself, and I also become critical of others who fail to meet those same standards. You see, from one habitual tendency alone, positive and negative karmic ties are formed. In everyday life, we constantly create these karmic bonds, whether good or bad, with our children, spouses, parents, siblings, co-workers, or any friends and acquaintances with whom we have karmic interactions. Your habitual tendencies are the foundation of the law of cause and effect. The cause is your habit. These habitual standards shape your expectations of yourself and your expectations of those with whom you interact. Suppose you are someone with a cleanliness obsession, a habitual tendency. When you come home, you must wash your hands before you can touch the light switch. If your home is dark, you turn on the light and then immediately wash your hands, followed by wiping the switch with a cloth. Only then do you feel at ease. Now imagine you've just come back from a bus ride with your child. On the bus, your child was touching everything. You're constantly washing his hands. He doesn't share your habit. He doesn't think cleanliness is necessary. As soon as he comes home, he touches the TV remote to turn it on. You see this and think, it must be contaminated with germs now. Then you see him grab a cup to pour some water without washing his hands. You're horrified. That cup now has germs. When he drinks from it, his mouth touches the contaminated surface. You begin to scold him. Yet he acts like it's no big deal. But people often say those most afraid of death are the ones most likely to die. You know, people with such obsessive cleanliness habits often have weak constitutions. Precisely because their bodies are fragile, they become more obsessed with cleanliness. This makes them neurotic, weakens their immunity, increases their fear of germs, and worsens their immune function. Their habitual tendencies not only bring them personal suffering, but also cause conflict with others. So imagine a person with two children, one who shares the mother's obsessive tendencies, leading to a harmonious bond, and the other is more carefree and easygoing, leading to a constant friction. This is how karma is formed, through habitual tendencies. The basis of the law of cause and effect lies in this cause, which is the habitual nature of sentient beings. These habits can cause conflict with people or things around us because everyone has different tendencies. In your own world, your habit is meaningless. It can't express itself, but once you are in a shared world with others, habits start to clash. You may want to interact however you like. You can be domineering like a crab walking sideways, but the moment you enter a world with more than one person, different thought patterns, tendencies, and views start colliding. That is where conflict arises, forming negative karmic ties. If there is resonance, positive karmic bonds form instead. The side that is hurt in this conflict becomes a karmic debtor or spiritual creditor. The one doing the hurting may currently hold the power and the karmic conditions to inflict harm. But the universe is built on the principle of balance. That's why all phenomena can exist. It's like throwing a ball, it always bounces back. If you throw a good ball, you get a good one in return. If you throw a bad ball, back comes a bad one. Throw it at a 45-degree angle, it rebounds at 45 degrees. How you throw it determines what comes back. Some people never gossip, yet they are always the target of gossip. Wherever they go, people talk about them. They suffer terribly. Some break down mentally, even falling into depression. Others go so far as to renounce worldly life, shaving their heads and taking monastic vows, even marking their heads with 3 precept scars. Yet, even after becoming monastic, the gossip doesn't stop. Fellow monks, abbots, and spiritual friends still talk behind their backs. They feel utterly trapped, cornered, ready to collapse. If we interpret these events as trials and tempering from the heavens, then it becomes something meaningful. But are such trials eliminated just by enduring them? No. Even if I refrain from gossip and strictly observe precepts, others continue to talk about me. I feel like I'm at my breaking point. I try to comfort myself. This is a test of my patience. But why does the gossip persist? Maybe I should sincerely recite Namo Amitabha and seek rebirth in the Western Pure Land, surely a place without gossip. But how do you know there won't be gossip there? If you carry these tendencies now, you will bring them wherever you go, even heaven or hell. You must look deeply into the phenomenon to find the blind spot in yourself. Once you see the root, the connection to karma, you can begin to dissolve the source of your suffering. When that root dissolves, the karmic conditions you created over lifetimes will lose their foothold. You can even share this with fellow practitioners. If you are someone with high self-restraint, someone who never gossips because you see yourself as a noble and cautious person, you may still find yourself surrounded by gossip to the point of feeling trapped. I can tell you without a doubt that in past lifetimes you've gossiped about these very people who now gossip about you. Perhaps you were even punished in hell, your tongue ripped out for speaking ill of others. The pain was unbearable and you swore never to gossip again. So now in this lifetime, you won't speak ill of others. But even though your mouth doesn't gossip, your heart is full of judgmental thoughts. You constantly mutter internally, complain silently, harbor discontent, and that mental state opens the gate for the negative karma from your past lives to return and torment you. It gives your karmic debtors an open path to come and fix you, to trouble your life.